All right, everyone, welcome back to another news video here on the Game Vault. It's April 19th. Happy Easter to everybody who celebrates Easter, and to those of you who don't, happy Easter anyway. We're going to talk about a few different games today, some good, some bad, some other stuff. So let's cue the music and we'll get right to it. All right, first off, let's check in real quick. Well, I know last week we talked about The Last of Us briefly and how the complete edition's being released for $110. We just wanted to drop by real quick and see how that launch trailer's doing. And oh, damn, over 2-to-1 dislike to like ratio. Not so good. Sony's got to stop with this remakes and remaster sticks. Now we're going to be talking about another remaster that's coming up in a couple minutes, but actually right after this one. But this is a little different context and packaged very differently than this one. But yeah, The Last of Us, we've already seen a remaster of the original and then a remake of the original Last of Us Part 1. Last of Us Part 2 came out, and then they did a remaster of that one, and now they're repackaging it in 2 games in one for $110. It's kind of crazy how much they've put behind this one single game. And in a game like Bloodborne that fans have been clamoring for years to get a remaster or a remake or a sequel or anything, not a peep from Sony. So, that creates a lot of aggravation for fans and all that. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, if you want to buy this game, buy it. If you don't own The Last of Us and you're interested in it, well, this is a great way to get both games. I enjoyed the first one. The second one, I didn't play it. It had things in there that were unappealing to me, and I really didn't want to. I didn't want to spend money on the game. I didn't want to give money to it. It supported things I don't support. So yeah, it is what it is. But let's move on to Days Gone Remastered. Now, this is a different animal in some ways. $49.99. It's got some new features in the game, a horde mode, which is like an arcade-like mode and all that. This is upgraded for the PS5. And if you already own Days Gone, it's only a $10 upgrade. I like that. So, I don't mind that so much if you own a game and they do a remaster of it or something like that, if there's a slight upgrade cost. I'd prefer it to be free, but, it is what it is. $10 is not that much in the grand scheme of things. I get it. And, it helps the company, say, hey, it's worth doing, and maybe we'll do this again in the future. But so the Days Gone Remaster, I'm looking forward to. I think this game never got the love it should have gotten when it came out. And I played the original a little bit, and I had other stuff going on and never really got deeply into it. So I'm looking forward to this one. I've already got it pre-downloaded and all that, waiting for it to come out. We'll be doing a series on it. And it just looks insane. It looks like so much fun. You play a character that's a biker, basically, in the Pacific Northwest after a zombie apocalypse. And what sets this apart from other zombie games is the way these hordes come after you, these crazy hordes and all that. So yeah, it's absolutely, absolutely nuts. So yeah, $10 for the upgrade. And I think that's the only package they've got, right? Yeah. Days Gone Remastered, $49.99. Now, if you got the original Days Gone, it's $39.99 and you can spend $10 for the remaster. So when I bought it, it cost me I think $15 or something like that. I think it was around that price. I can't remember. So I spent money on it, but not much. So if you got it through, I think there was a PS Plus collection or something like that you can get it in, or they gave it away free 1 month on the PS Plus Essentials. If you got it free, basically, you're not spending $10 for the remaster. You're spending full price. I don't know how I feel about that. On one hand, I feel like, that's kind of fair. But on the other hand, I'm like, well, not really, because you're paying a monthly fee, right? And how much have you paid into Sony with your subscription? How many years have you paid into it? I kind of feel like, maybe they should just give you the damn game. It's $50, right? How many, I mean, yeah, it might have been your first month that you had the game. Might have been your only month or whatever, but I don't know. I don't know how, I know like when you stop your subscription, you lose these games if you haven't bought them. So maybe that's why you don't get these like free $10 or these $10 upgrades and stuff like that and things like that. Maybe that's why it doesn't work that way, that it's like coded differently into your system rather than if you actually bought it. So that's the only thing that makes sense to me. If that's the reason behind it, I don't know. We'll see. Let's talk about another game though, and that's Lords of the Fallen. They've got their major 2.0 update now. This has been an interesting game. This is kind of like a Souls-like game from my understanding. CI Games released their major version 2.0 update for Lords of the Fallen. They're adding a free friends pass to it, which is kind of neat. So, and they've got shared progression, crossplay co-op, an overhauled character creator, much more. This game came out originally in 2023, late 2023, so it's not even been 2 years out yet. It's received over 50 updates, with the developers eager to continue adding polish to the popular action game. CI Games was hit with layoffs in the middle of 2024. Lords of the Fallen has continued to thrive, though, and the developers have released a steady stream of updates and fresh content for players to enjoy. It's notoriously difficult, and it's a successor to the 2014 title of the same name. It managed to sell over 1 million copies in its first 10 days, and some reviews were a little less enthusiastic at the start. A steady stream of fixes and updates have improved the feedback, and the newest patches bring it tons of new mechanics and player-requested features now. What's really cool about this game is CI Games has taken a stand to listen to the players. And they've done some tweets out there like over the past year or so. Like, what would you prefer on a character creator when you're selecting a character? Male and female, or body type A, body type B, or you don't care, and this and that and things like that. And these reflect the whole quote unquote modern audience outlook on gaming, right? And we hear a lot about that. Culture war is huge right now in gaming, and it's quite honestly, it's one of the major factors in gaming right now. I think that's determining the success and failure of a lot of games. It's kind of crazy. But overwhelmingly, I think it was like 84% did not like the A and B person, selection. They either preferred male and female or had no preference, but they didn't like body type A, body type B. So CI Games has been listening to the players, and they're getting away from any of that kind of stuff. And they kind of push back against any politics in gaming, any social issues being pushed in that and all that, especially these modern type issues. And that's a very annoying thing to find in a game. Nothing will kick you out of a game quicker than some modern BS that you see on Twitter or X now, being talked about in a game. I mean, let's look at the failures in recent years, like Veilguard. I mean, Veilguard is the epitome of a failure. This is a beloved franchise, Dragon Age. Had some great games in it, very successful, dark fantasy and all that. Then they come out with a game where your character creator has the ability to have top surgery scars from removing their breasts. There's a whole non-binary character arc for a major companion player or character NPC. Using that term non-binary, they didn't even try to like change it up to make it fit into that world and say, well, there's a term for it, No, they just went with non-binary. They just slap you in the face with this kind of crap. And then your own character that you created could be trans. And it was just so stupid. And I'm sorry if you're trans and you feel like, you need these things in games to be seen and all that. You don't need this shit in games. I'm sorry. You really don't. It's stupid. And if you feel like you need to be seen in a game, then you've got bigger problems than you think. Okay? I don't need to be seen in a game. I can play any game and enjoy it based off of the gameplay, the story, the character, and all that kind of stuff. I don't need to be seen in it. Now, there are certain things that will repel me from playing a game. And one of them is stuff like that. I don't want that in my game. Okay? And it's not because I'm homophobic. It's not because I'm transphobic or anything like that. It's because that is modern world crap that I don't want to deal with in a game. I hear enough about it on the news. I hear enough about it on X and all this other crap. I hear people arguing about it all the time. And to me, it's nonsense. I'm glad I'm older, and I'm glad I'm not going to have to deal with this for the next 50 years of my life. I'm glad this wasn't around when I was a kid, because it would have been the most annoying crap in the world to grow up with. So, I miss that crap. But I don't want it in my games, especially in an older game, like a game that takes place in medieval type times and all that, you know. Another example is Pacific Drive took place in the 90s, and they had pride flags in it, you know, and a Black Lives Matter flag in it. And it's silly. It's just silly stuff that breaks immersion. So CI Games is pushing back against that. And they're saying we're not going to put that crap in our games. And I'm hoping that they have some serious, huge success this year. Now, 3 of my favorite games so far this year have been Monster Hunter Wilds, Adamfall, and now Forever Skies. And at this point, I have seen none of that garbage in any of those games. Adamfall is a RPG type game, kind of like I originally said it was kind of like a Fallout game, but it's not. You know, it's its own thing, but it shares a little DNA with the Fallout type games and the Bethesda type games. But you don't even create a character, which I love. I'm tired of creating characters. I think that's an overrated thing, and I think that's one of the things that drives up the cost of games and causes a lot of issues in games. The character doesn't talk, so you don't have to hire a voice character for it. I like voiced characters. I'm going to be honest. When they did the Dead Space remake and they gave a voice to Isaac Clarke, I liked it. He had a voice in Dead Space 2. He had a voice in Dead Space 3, so they used the same actor, and they gave him a voice in Dead Space 1. Cool. Or the remake. Cool. That was great and all that, but you don't always need a voice. And, you know, I look at some of these games, and I had a conversation with someone that, from last week's video about hiring actors, big name actors in video games. And I think that's driving up the cost. And that's one of the things that's making these games more expensive. And, you know, he was defending it. And I agree, you know, maybe it does help sell a game a little bit. Right. But I don't think that's a thing it's not going to sell a game to me. Right. When I saw Cyberpunk 2077 had Keanu Reeves in it, I was like, well, that's kind of cool, man. You know, it's neat. It didn't make me buy the game. What made me buy the game was Cyberpunk 2077 looked pretty badass. You know, I'm like, I like this setting. I like the concept of the story. It's, you know, it's a cool futuristic RPG style game. The weapons look neat. You know, everything looks badass to it. And just having Keanu Reeves in there was the icing on the cake. That's fine. If it didn't have Keanu Reeves in it, I would have still bought the game, right? Then the expansion has Idris Elba in it, which is cool too. But again, I didn't buy it because Idris Elba's in it. I bought it because I heard of all the new stuff it added to the game and how much better it's going to be with it and all this new stuff. And I was like, that's fantastic. I didn't buy Dying Light 2 because Rosario Dawson was in it. You know, it's, you know, that doesn't sell a game to me. And I think for most gamers, it does not sell a game to a gamer. A gamer buys a game because they like the concept. They like, you know, maybe they've played other games from that company. Maybe they've played other games from that IP. Like in this case, I played Dying Light 1. I played other games from CD Projekt Red, so I kind of trusted them, you know, with Cyberpunk, which turned out in the short term not to be a good thing, but in the long term, okay. But in any case, you know, so it may sell games to the outsider, the non-gamer, you know, the casual gamer, so to speak. We're like, oh, cool, look, it's Keanu Reeves. Let me play with Keanu Reeves. Oh, neat. You know, that's fine and all that. But I think it really, I'm pretty sure that's going to drive up the cost of the game significantly. Now, you got actors like Mark Hamill, right? Who I personally detest as a person, but he played the Joker for years on, I think, cartoons and video games and did a fantastic job of it. But he's not Keanu Reeves. You know, he's not even Rosario Dawson. He is a has-been actor who I can't remember the last time he was in a live action film that was worth a crap outside of any Star Wars IP, you know. Think hard. Let me know in the comments if you can think of one that was worth a crap. I mean, really. And even the recent Star Wars stuff is highly debatable if it's worth a crap or not. So, you know, but a guy like him, great voice actor. There's a lot of great voice actors out there, and I'm sure they cost a fraction of what these big name actors cost. So in any case, you know, we'll see what comes of that. So next up, classic post-nuclear shooter Metro 2033 Redux is now free. Not anymore, on Steam and GOG. So this is great. I own the Metro series. And again, this is another thing that's, I got to tell you, man, my backlog is so huge. It's not even funny. I've heard so much good about this. I bought it, like a set of it for $10 or something like that. All 3 games are $15 a year or so ago. And it's sitting in my backlog. Great concept and all that, really cool. They say it's like a spiritual successor to Stalker, but they made it free, right? And look at this. It jumped. So this originally released in 2014, and you had about 2,700 concurrent players. Before then, it topped off at maybe 5,000 concurrent players on Steam. And as of, just a couple days ago, 50,000 players 3 days ago. That's sick, man. That's sick. It's it was free though. It was free. But, if you're still interested in playing it just to see what all the hype is about, it's $2.99 right now on Steam. So that's great. That ends in 48 hours or 2 days from now. It's going to be less than that by the time this comes out, a few hours after it's filmed. But still, that's going to be sometime Monday, I guess. So keep your eyes open if you want to try Metro 2033 Redux for $3. I don't see how you can go wrong with it. It's a highly acclaimed game. I've heard only great things about it. And like I said, it's something that's definitely on my list, something I definitely want to get to. Maybe if I can retire one day. Next up, rumor. Ubisoft. We have to talk about Ubisoft every week. They are still chasing live service with a new Battle Royale in development. How many times have we got to teach you this lesson, old man? So Ubisoft has a new Battle Royale game in development they're talking about. Insider Gaming's Tom Henderson, who has a very good track record when it comes to Ubisoft, says the project is heavily inspired by Respawn Entertainment's Apex Legend. The working title is Scout. It's been around for 2 years or so, and guess what? It's set to be a hero-based shooter. So everybody's immediately saying it's going to be Ubisoft's Concord. And I mean, look at a picture here. How many times do we need to see characters like this? These are some of the most uninspiring, stupid, boring-looking characters I've ever seen. Look at all the buckles on the guy on the right. The girl with the bubble gum and the dot on her head. And the guy on the left. It's just, these do nothing for me. I don't know who these games are made for. But these character designs do nothing for me. They're absolutely nothing. Do they do something for you? Who are these designed for? I think this game is, this market is so glutted right now. Maybe not, the live service market's glutted. This one's supposed to be a, what do they call it? A battle royale type game. I don't think they're all battle royales out there, but this one's a battle royale in the vein of Fortnite, I guess. But Fortnite dominates that market, man. Why even go up against Fortnite? Would you go into the ring against Mike Tyson in his prime? You're going to get hammered. And you're going to walk away hurting. And that's exactly what's going to happen to Ubisoft now. But hey, these guys don't learn, These guys don't learn. They just lost out on X-Defiant, which came out, I think it was last year, and is being shut down in a couple months now. That was a live service game. It wasn't a battle royale type game, but it was a live service game. I think that was an extraction shooter, if memory serves me. I don't know. These things come and go so quickly now. It's hard to keep track of them, but yeah. So my prediction is if this sees the light of day, it'll last less than 18 months, and it'll be gone like a fart in the wind. And finally, Ark. Oof. Ark Survival Ascended. Well, their latest community crunch has come out, and they're talking about an Astraeos update that is coming out in June. It's a major update, which is kind of nice. Astraeos came out last year, and it's partnered up map. It was a modded map that they decided to partner up with the creator, and they're adding a biome to it, and they're adding the redwood biome, which is going to be nice. And there are going to be snow owls there and all that, so it's going to be pretty cool. Lots of new building spots, points of interest, statues, all this other kind of stuff. Big ruins, and I'm sure there's going to be new caves and all that. So it should be kind of neat. Looking forward to seeing how that comes out. Astraeos is a fantastic map. $15. It's got, I think, everything that Scorched Earth has on it except for the Phoenix. It doesn't have any aberration stuff on it at this time that I've noticed, right? I'm trying to think here. I haven't seen any aberrant caves yet. I'm hoping they add that in the future. That would be fantastic if they did. Extinction, though, you can go to that volcanic island, and there's, element veins. There's orbital supply drops. There's really cool stuff down there. There's tech creatures. There's Dreadnoughtus. We also have the rhinos from the island on this map, so you can get those. A lot of cool creatures. The Facilosaurus from, or the, what's it called? The the Facilosaurus from Scorched Earth is here. No deathworms either. That's another one. Yet. I think they're adding a desert down the road, and it'd be cool if they add the desert and if they add the phoenix and they add the deathworm. That would be awesome, man. That'd be really, really awesome. But it's a beautiful map. Highly recommended if you don't have it. So much went into this map to create it, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's probably prettier than any of the official maps. I'll be completely honest with you. So looking forward to seeing that update. And then they go in and talk about mods and the Excellent Adventure, which just came out. It's pretty cool. Really easy to get everything there. You just got to collect a bunch of eggs. But no update on, granted, it was just a few days ago that the beginning of the time frame for Unreal Engine came out, but no update on that. This is the time now where these guys could redeem themselves by every week saying, we have no update. Even if they don't have anything, they could at least mention it. Say, we have no update at this time, but things seem to be going along as scheduled. We'll follow up next week and let you know if there's any changes. No mention of Ragnarok and all that, but we've already heard it's coming out June 2nd or 4th, whatever. So we kind of know that's, you could also mention that in passing. It would be 2 sentences, right? Unreal Engine, we're still working on that. Everything looks good. We're still within our window that we're expecting to release it. Fine. And Ragnarok, that's still looking like it's going to make its goal of June 2nd. Just wanted to let you know, just so you can keep your, keep your expectations on the right level. Right there, and then boom, you're done. You don't have people questioning and all that. So it's really, it's really frustrating how they handle things. They're not, I don't know. Game still crashes a lot, still not perfectly optimized. It's still not, they still haven't done the thing with making it so you only have to download the maps that you want. And another thing that they promised a long time ago, and we haven't gotten it yet, was more room for mods on the PlayStation. I think we only have 10 gigs right now. And I'll be honest, with the cluster I'm running really low on mod space, especially putting on some modded maps. They tend to take up quite a bit of room. And if I have several different premium maps on there, it makes it hard for me to travel from one premium map to the other because I don't have enough room to maintain them all. So I have to delete one to load the other one. So I don't have that freedom to just, I'm going to jump from Forgler to Gigarg to Atlantis and back. I have to do some serious, finagling to get all those on there. And that's a little frustrating, but yeah. And that's probably about it. But let's real quick, just take a quick look at Forever Skies. It just came out on console last week. Loving the game. It's got a 79 right now, Metascore. We can't really see it on PlayStation yet. There's no score yet. So looking forward to seeing how that comes out. Personally loving the game. My 3 favorite games of the year so far: Forever Skies, Monster Hunter Wilds, and Atomfall. Just, and here we are about a quarter of the way through the year. Anyway, leave a like on the video down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And let me know your thoughts on anything we talked about today and anything you want to discuss next week. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, peace.